Hello everybody, Frank Gallo, your favorite contract corporate pilot. My YouTube channel is Flying with Captain Frank. Please take a moment, go over there, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell. It'll remind you each and every time there's a new video, and please leave a comment. I love to hear comments, whether they're positive or negative. It's okay. Let me know how you feel. I want to know what I can do better for you and what you want to see, what you want to hear about. Please leave a comment. Anyway, today's video, I want to talk about aviation acronyms, and one in particular is called Pickle, Power, Pitch, Snap. Now, when we brief an approach, before we get to our airport of destination, we're going to know what runway we're going to use, and we are going to brief the instrument approach that we have selected. I will do that as the pilot flying, and I will hand over the controls to the pilot monitoring. Then I will audibly, making sure he can hear me, go through every single detailed aspect of that approach on the approach chart. Okay? I will ask him, do you have any questions? Him or her, do you have any questions? They'll say no, and I'll say, consider yourself briefed. Now, I will say, I'm going to brief the missed approach. And what we're going to do, there has to be a certain set of steps that we are going to follow to safely do a missed approach. Remember, the airplane is fully configured for landing. We need to change that if we're going to go missed, okay? So we use the Pickle, Power, Pitch acronym. We use the pickle word because it's a PPP. Otherwise, it would be a TPP. To-go or tow-go button is the takeoff, go-around button. That's what we use to transition from that landing to the missed approach. By pressing that button, we call it the pickle, several things will happen. If you have auto throttles and they're still engaged, the auto throttles will advance to takeoff power setting. The V-bars or flight director will pitch up to 7.5 degrees. If the autopilot is still engaged, the airplane will pitch up on its own and go on the missed approach. If it's not, you need to do these things manually. So it'll be pickle, press the button, add the power, and simultaneously pitch. Okay, that's pickle, power, pitch. The next thing is the set of callouts that are done by the pilot monitoring, and they are as follows. Ref and 10. Ref speed is what we need to be at when we cross over the threshold of the runway at 50 feet. Okay, you can't be coming in too fast or you won't be able to land. You'll float and eat up a ton of runway, and that's not safe. Okay, so you need to be at an appropriate speed where at that point you're going to start reducing power, slowing down, and start to begin the round out and the flare and touchdown. Okay, so that's the ref speed. We need ref and 10 to be able to bring the flaps that we're assuming were fully down up to the approach position. So when he calls ref and 10, I'm going to say flaps approach, and then he or she will retract the flaps to the approach position. The next call from the pilot monitoring will be positive rate. That means that the airplane is climbing away from the ground. I will call out gear up. That pilot monitoring will then retract the gear. The next call is going to be, in this particular airplane, it's going to be different speeds for different airplanes. They're going to call 125, and I will say flaps up. Now the airplane is completely cleaned up. We were fully configured. Now we are cleaned up. It means that all the drag is out of the airplane. Now, the next acronym that we're going to use from the Pickle, Power, Pitch is going to be that SNAP. First, I'm going to make sure that the airplane's navigational system is in the right mode. If we were flying an ILS, we would be in localizer mode. Once I hit that to-go button or tow-go button or pickle, one of the other things it should do is change the navigational source from localizer to FMS. If it doesn't do that, I need to make sure that I change that back into the FMS mode. Okay, it's very important to make sure that you do that. Source. Then I'm going to take the airplane and put it into what's called the nav mode. Not heading, not roll, but nav. So that they start talking to each other, the computers, and the airplane now knows where you want it to go. So it's going to fly the missed approach. Okay? Now, the A is altitude. Every missed approach has an altitude they want you to climb to first. Okay? That should be preset. If it's not, we go up there and make sure that, say, for example, it's 3,000 feet. We set 3,000 feet. That's the first goal, is it has to hit that 3,000 feet. And then it's going to continue the missed approach. That's the A in SNAP. And then the P is autopilot. So if it's not already engaged, engage the autopilot. Now you can monitor the airplane and make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. So it's pickle, power, pitch, snap. That's the missed approach acronym. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you learned something, and please go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the bell, like, and leave a comment. Frank Gallo, your favorite contract corporate pilot, signing off.